We're going from the live cameras, we're going to get down, get dirty in the leaf litter, in the macro studio, because the leaf litter is where our self-confessed nature nerd Lucy just couldn't be happier. This, to a lot of people, just looks like a bunch of brown leaves, but there is so much going on in these leaves, isn't there?
And I am so excited to tell you about this.
I've
been waiting for this all week. This is one of my, dare I say it, this is my favourite thing about autumn. I just love it. So this might look like a pile of brown leaves, standard autumn. But if you look a little bit closer, you can see those patches of colour. So what I've done here, I've made some very nice, pretty, if I don't mind saying so myself, autumn bunting.
Which looks a little bit like the necklace you were wearing the other night. It's very lovely, very lovely.
Inspiration, yeah. And if you look a little bit closer, each of these brown leaves have got a green splodge on it, a green splatter. So, you know, you might just think it's a bit of variation, but it tells a story. So I'm going to do a big reveal now. Okay. Are you ready? If you find a leaf like this, hold it up to the sunshine. So I'm going to hold a torch behind, take a closer look. You can see in that...
Oh, look at that! Ooh! That is fabulous.
So exciting. So there's a little squiggle there, and that's actually a tiny, tiny, tiny caterpillar living inside a leaf.
How does it get in the leaf?
So the adult moth, a tiny little moth, lays an egg, it hatches, it burrows between the layers, and then it lives a life munching away. So you can see the start of the mind's really skinny and small. It gets fatter and fatter as it chomps away. It's like the real-life hungry caterpillar.
And actually what we're seeing is the poo, isn't it?
Yes, all those little black dots, that's caterpillar poo. So obviously it's eating lots of leaf, it can't fall out the leaf, so it just fills up with poo.
We've got 700 species of these. We're looking at two different ones here, a couple of different ones. Talk us through these.
Yes, so in beech leaves like this, you get a couple of species, both known as Stigmellas. There's Stigmella titirella and Stigmella hemagirella.
Titirella, that sounds like Cinderella, doesn't it?
Yes,
crazy
so
names.
I can't quite tell the difference here because it all depends on looking at the start of the mine. And
oh, you can see it though, look.
Yeah, munching away. It's absolutely astounding. It's like a little world inside a little world. I love it.
I mean, isn't that amazing to see that on macro? You'd never know that that was going on. And let's just have a quick look at the adult moths, because very difficult to tell them apart. As we said the other day, the only way you can tell them apart really is by looking at their tiny genitalia, which we're not going to get into now. Let's have a look, because these leaves, as you said, you know, they look like autumn leaves, and yet they have this green colour.
Yes.
And to really tell that story, we've got our live macro camera here.
Yeah, so this is one we've got going right as we speak. So you can see the tiny caterpillar inside there, hopefully munching away. And that's been busy over the last couple of days. I've been keeping an eye on it. Now, that green around it, it isn't just a coincidence. There's something even more amazing than the fact that this is a tiny caterpillar inside a leaf going on here. So all of that green bit is known as a green island. And basically, inside the caterpillar is a tiny bacteria. And inside that bacteria, what it does is it causes that caterpillar in its spit to release a hormone. And that hormone basically delays the process of senescence, which is the process of a leaf turning from green to brown. So it halts autumn in its tracks so the caterpillar can keep scoffing away until it's ready to emerge.
That is mind-blowing.
It's amazing.
That is absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, who would have thought that there is so much going on in just these tiny leaves? So much science in it. All of these things rely on each other. There's a whole cycle going on here. And if you take one bit out, then you spoil the whole balance. I'll tell you what, Lucy, they say the big sexy stuff is interesting.
Yeah, goshawks now.
But honestly, yeah, forget the goshawks. Good job he's not here, isn't it? But, you know, this is the stuff that when you get a macro camera on it, it is absolutely fascinating. So, Lucy, thanks so much for coming in. We've so enjoyed looking at things in close-up. And for you at home, next time you go into woodland and think the floor is just boring leaves, well, think again, because that is extraordinary.